Good afternoon and welcome to Tuesday Talks at 3, a platform for women to help build one another on their journey in the sphere of life. My name is Lucy Macridis and I'm the founder of LMC Consultancy. I help women get unstuck and onto their true full potential through unlocking their limiting beliefs. I'm a certified life coach, I'm a mentor, and I'm an online facilitator. Thank you so much for being with us on this broadcast. Well, as you can see, I have my guest on the screen, and that is Joan Mbesya. Joan, would you like to please just wave and say hello to everybody?
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. I hope you're all well.
Thank you so much, Joan. That is my guest, Joan Mbesya, and I'll be introducing her a bit later as I go through this. But for now, I'm just going to check on my Facebook and see who has managed to just sign in on top of the hour. And just see if you've got any emojis for me yet. Okay, yes, I can see we are live and we are waiting. We're 1 minute in and we're just waiting for people to join us. So the services that we have at LMC are quite a few. I'd just like to share some of them with you. One of them is group life coaching. That is you coming in as a group of people. I like to take maximum 5, minimum 3. And we concentrate around areas of clarity. What is life about? What do you want to do? What do you want to start doing in your life? What is your purpose? And we bring this in a group setting, which allows you to pick from the other group members. It's great fun. It's 6 sessions. And just visit our Facebook page for details. We've got the one-on-one coaching where you and I meet. We do a discovery call and we take this journey. We need to know, where are you right now? And where do you want to go? And then we've got online facilitation. And this online facilitation is monthly trainings. For instance, we've got one that is running from Monday next week, the 8th to the 12th. We call it the Awakening Self, and I'll tell you a bit more later. Then we have Lady in Waiting. With now Lady in Waiting and the school holidays coming up, we cover 6 sessions in the art of good manners, etiquette, cover social etiquette, business, dining etiquette, personal branding. And therefore, again, if you visit our page, you will be able to see exactly what it is that we are doing. We would love for you to gift a young girl, because Lady in Waiting is for preteens, age of 12 to about 18. And they have so much fun. I think I have more fun than they do. So what makes me an expert? Well, I've been in the industry hospitality industry for over 30 years. And during that time, it was about personal development. It was women helping me helping women. You know, it was the good, the bad, the ugly. And I am here today. The strength that I have today is because of those women who fashioned my life to this day. However, as we all know, hospitality was hit, just like every other industry, by COVID-19. And this brought chaos to my personal life. It jeopardized, it disrupted my journey, my purpose, and my true potential. Or so I thought. Fast forward, I had to rethink my journey. And I found that my purpose was still the same. You know, I've been wanting to help build one another. I've been doing it. And hence, I'm even here today on personal development. This is what I do as a life coach. I come forth and I share with you my life experiences. That makes me an expert because I have walked it and I share that with you. So my why was still true. That was a good thing. However, my potential was out there and waiting to be claimed, and therefore giving birth to Awakening Self. So what does Awakening Self do for you? When you come onto our program, at the end, that is Friday, by Friday afternoon, you will be able to identify your SMART goals and your actions. It's so important because we keep on talking about New Year's resolutions or decisions or turning a dream into a plan, but you need to sit down and put it down. And this is what we help you on Awakening Self. So by day 1, in fact, you will already know what your SMART goal is, and you'll have identified your actions. We go into limiting beliefs, what is holding you back, because you may have a plan, but things are holding you back. We then move on to our purpose, And after our purpose, we look at our voice. This is one thing that is overlooked by so many people. You forget that you have a voice. For instance, my voice is here on Tuesday Talks at 3. It is a verbal voice. So I'm able to share with you verbally my experience. And therefore, life coaching comes to you through this medium. So once we look at your voice, we then finish off and we look at the becoming, because we've brought you all together. Now, this was my potential that was just waiting to be claimed. I found my voice, guys. I am owning my voice. And I am on the journey of embracing my voice. I would love you to be part of this. Please like our page for the opportunity to be part of our We Are Connected community. Please share with us your story on our Facebook and let us help build one another, because your story can inspire somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. Somebody somewhere is waiting to hear your story. But enough about me. Today, we are celebrating the month of March. This is our first session of Tuesday Talks at 3. And this month of March, we're looking at tech and life, technology and life. These were things that we never put together a few decades ago. But now technology is what we are really living. We are on a virtual space right now, not on face-to-face, but we are still delivering. Yes, we have our challenges. At times the internet is hanging. At times we cannot connect, or the other person is having a challenge with the type of technology that they are using. It is not compatible to yours. Hey, this is life now. It's getting exciting. So just like my guest had said to me earlier on today, it's not a matter of if, it is the when and the how. And the when and the how is here. So my story, unbeknown to me, science fiction movies were my introduction to artificial intelligence. And that is the topic we have today, the disruption of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence and machine learning came to me through movies like RoboCop. I mean, Joan, do you remember RoboCop?
Yes, I do. Actually, I'm very sure also what you mean is Transformers.
Yes, that's so true. There's also Transformers.
Okay.
There was a Terminator. Remember the Terminator?
Terminator, yes. I forgot about that. That's where AI started, actually.
Terminator. And then there's also Star Trek and Star Wars. And there was the Matrix. I remember there was a Matrix also. And
Lucy, you seasoned well.
Well, you see, you see, Joan, I love movies and all this science fiction. I keep on saying life is serious enough. You really need to convince me to watch a biography, because a biography is telling me about somebody's actual life and the ups and downs that they went through. And at times it can be very sad. It can also be very uplifting. So I prefer fiction. And when it is science fiction, I even love it more because the creativity of the script writer just comes across. That creativity of the script writer. So this RoboCop and Terminator and the other day, beginning of this year, I believe, I watched Outside the Wire. Now, if you haven't watched Outside the Wire, Joan, oh, you are missing a movie. You need to watch Outside the Wire. It will literally blow your mind. And all this for me, now that you have come to talk to us about artificial intelligence, I am making the connection to something that I love doing. Okay, so I'm just looking and I can see, okay, we have your team already watching us, Madara and Gatundu. And then we've got Nancy watching us. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So March is our Tech and Life Month here at LMC. And we just want to be able to give that connection and how technology can happen in your own home, because our audience is business women. Our audience is housewives, house managers. Our audience is women who are on the move, even students who are on the move from different kinds of career paths and industries. So technology plays a very big part. If you are a stay-home mom, for instance, you need to work on the virtual homework that your children are doing. You need to understand whatever games that they are playing. You need to be able to tune in your smart TV. So tech and life is what we are bringing for my audience this month. Well, ladies, like I said, today we've got Joan Mbesya, and she's the CEO of Tech Mindset Africa. And her sole mission and purpose is to ensure that the female generation, gets to be part of technology revolution in Africa. And it starts from our backyard. Remember, she told me earlier on, it's not a matter of if, guys, it's the when and the how. In fact, it's already here and now. Yeah. So the technology revolution in Africa, especially in areas of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data. So we would love to hear you, my audience. Would love to hear from you. Or, I've told you, I learned about, I did not know it was artificial intelligence. I knew it was amazing movies. Yeah. So where have you heard artificial intelligence from, or machine learning? Share with us. What interaction have you had with artificial intelligence, machine learning, or data? Share with us. What is your take? What is your take? Is it here overtaking our lives? Are there going to be jobs for us at the end of the day, or our children? Talk to us, share. I mean, Joan is here with her team and she's raring to go. Yeah. And what personal development can you derive from artificial intelligence? In your opinion, what personal development? How can you learn something? Do you think there's anything to learn for you? Is it something that you can actually take on and accept as a challenge to learn something new? Well, I won't go too far on that. I'm going to just ask your indulgence to allow me to play a 3-minute clip. It's actually 3 minutes and 30 seconds. If you can just allow me to play this, it's going to give us an insight, kind of. It's no movie. I just want you to watch it. Just 3 minutes and a half, and just get a feel of it. Okay, so here we go.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So, how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is now the life that we are looking at. This is it. This is the here and the now. It's not about if, it's already happening. And I can see that the people who are with us on our Facebook Live, one is telling us that his first interaction with AI was with Terminator movie robots, and I'm just commenting that mine was about Robocop, and maybe he wasn't born there, but Robocop was about this police who was a robot. It was just amazing what this Robocop did. So this is it. This is something that Joan wanted us to have a look at. And you know, Joan, just looking at that, I'm seeing so much information there. I mean, look at agriculture is there. I mean, tell us a bit more. Tell us a bit more.
So listen, the reason I wanted you to share this video is for one reason and one reason only. Is because our business leaders, our professionals, the people who are working or who are looking into getting into jobs, need to understand and embrace artificial intelligence. It's not, as you have said over and over again, it's not a matter of if, it is not if. If we start addressing if right now, we are bound to go the wrong direction, which is not where the world is taking us right now. It's a matter of how and when. Artificial intelligence is currently affecting the retail industry, the health industry, transportation industry, the law industry, the journalism industry, and so much more. As a matter of fact, did you know that artificial intelligence has been there for 60 years? So the people who are talking about having an interaction with it through transformers are correct, but right now it's in the mainstream. It is where we are. It is facing you and me, Lucy, right now. And that is the reason I really wanted us to watch that video. The question is, how do we embrace it? When do we do this?
I mean, just look at that shopping. Huh? You're walking into a supermarket. I'm walking in and walking out. And you know, the artificial intelligence has been able to facilitate that to happen. I liked the way she kept on making a decision on the cupcake. And finally she puts it back, but then she comes back, picks it, and she's out of the store. I mean, look at that. To imagine that could be our life. And here in Africa, definitely we need to embrace this artificial intelligence. But you know, in your own words, in simple translation, what is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning, Joan? And what is data? Just let's understand that first before we go on with our chat.
Thank you for that, Lucy. So in the best way, because the audiences that we deal with are you and me, everyday people who would want the basic understanding, and that is what we do when we define artificial intelligence. We can say artificial intelligence is the effort to build machines that learn from the environment that they're kept in, to learn from mistakes or learn from people. All right. It is basically the ability of a machine to optimize and automate processes that you and me conduct on a day-to-day basis. For example, if we are to integrate artificial intelligence in eating, that's the best example, because that's what we do every day. Every human being eats. So we can basically understand in that artificial intelligence can help you to eat without you having to lift a spoon and having to put food in your mouth. I don't know if you understand. That is the best way I can describe artificial intelligence. It's the ability of it to learn from the environment, learn from mistake, and learn from what people do to help them do what they do better in a more faster and efficient way. Yes.
It's interesting.
Which
it's interesting
brings
you explain it that way, because it just makes a lot of sense. You know, that simple thing that I do every day, artificial intelligence will come and refine it, make it better, because this is information that has been fed to it over time, so that now it influences its behavior. Thank you for that simple explanation. Yes, you were saying.
Yes, I would just wanted to say, because when you learn about artificial intelligence, because you say we're in a knowledge economy, you can find these definitions online. You'll get to meet another term known as machine learning. So what I can define machine learning is basically an application of artificial intelligence, because it gives the ability, it's the intelligence behind the artificial intelligence. All right. It gives the ability, the AI ability to learn from its environment. When we are talking about AI learning from you or AI learning from the environment, then machine learning gives it the ability to learn by creating models, creating algorithms to form models or to form these goals that we want to form in artificial intelligence. So back to the eating example. For example, if we are to build a machine that is supposed to learn how we eat every day, then a human being, data scientists, machine learning experts are going to build machine learning algorithms that are going to learn how I put food in my mouth, how I make the food, how I ingest the food. So it's going to collect this data to learn about food, which is the environment, to learn about mistakes. For example, it might build something that takes food to the eyes, so we'll correct it back to take it to the mouth, because that's the internal mechanism of putting in food into our bodies, and also to learn other people, how do people chew. So at the end of the day, we want the machine to do this for us using machine learning algorithms. So that is the function of machine learning. It's the ability to make artificial intelligence what it is supposed to be.
Okay, wow, amazing, amazing. Well, you can hear from her, from Joan Mbesya herself. Guys, I just want you to tell us, where in your daily life are you encountering artificial intelligence? If you could just type in the chat and just tell us, in your daily life, where is it that you are encountering intelligence, and what is your take on it? What is your honest gut feeling about artificial intelligence? If it is fear, share it with us. Let's have that discussion. Like I always believe, share the information that you have. When you hold it back, there's somebody somewhere who could have benefited from what it is that you know, or from a pain point that you have experienced, and therefore it can improve their life. Yeah. And what is your personal development? What is the personal development that you can derive from AI? Just talk to us, talk to us. And now that we have played that clip, there was an aspect of agriculture. And I do know, Joanne, that you, apart from being an expert in tech for business, your key focus is in agriculture in Africa. And that rings a bell for us, because in Africa, this is what we do. And during the time of COVID, most Kenyans automatically just turned back to their farms, to their villages, to their homes. They went back there for agriculture, and certain things were done. And maybe I'm getting a bit too technical here, but just bear with me, Joanne. When people went back home, they went back home now to live off the earth, the soil. And they were planting and they were harvesting in those 8 or so months that we went through, that we continue to do so. So they could live off the land and sustain their lives. However, when you have this key focus in agriculture, and your purpose is to find greater ways that these industries can adopt future technologies, if you were just like in artificial intelligence, and we went back in time, and you went there and you were at the village with Lucy, who has gone back there, what is it that you would have told me would be my opportunities and my benefits at that point if I was to use artificial intelligence? I hope I've not gone too and too crazy there. But agriculture, artificial intelligence, opportunities and benefits for me, backing us up 8 months.
Yes, yes, Lucy, indeed, you're right. And the one thing I must share with you, I'm very passionate about agriculture, because this is what I believe. Agriculture is the source of food, and food is what we take to survive. If a person cannot get food, that means instead of the mind thinking about their survival or their next dream, then they'll tend to think about where do I get food? So they lose focus on their dreams. So what I believe is feed someone, let them face life from a point of strength, and they're able to dream about what they want to become. And that is why I'm very passionate about agriculture. So back to your village, Lucy, if I were to meet you a few years back and you're in the village and I knew the opportunities that were in the agriculture, I'll tell you one thing: data. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of information with your soil. There's a lot of information with the plants that you grow. There's a lot of information on how you grow your plants, the nutrients that come from your big or small piece of land. There's a lot of information from that. What if you could use that information to create a self-serving agricultural farm that you don't have to go and dig, that you don't have to keep on checking if there are diseases or worms or locusts around, that you don't have to keep on guessing, second guessing. If I grow this, will it grow? Is the market ready for it? You don't have to do that. That is where artificial intelligence comes with such opportunities. It gives agricultural farmers, business people in agriculture, any other person who has a garden, an ability and opportunity to harness information and data and create artificial intelligence models to be able to get information about the best plant to plant within your garden, within your farm, within your land, the best way to grow it within that particular area, what kind of weather is coming tomorrow, next week, the year after. Is there a market in case you're a business person? Is there a market for what I'm growing? How long is the market going to take? Is it going to take 3 months? What can I grow in the next 3 months that has demand in those 3 months, and what will be the price? Right? Is the market flooded? Is it not? Are my plants going to get diseases? It will be predicting this kind of thing so that you take countermeasures so that before my apples get apple worms or whatever they're called, or before my leaves, my vegetable fresh leaves are eaten by some funny diseases, I'm able to know that that is an inevitability. It's going to come. The question is, what do I do to protect my farm? And this is the kind of information that all of us need. How do I plant tomatoes in the shortest way and the least resistant ways in regards to weather? How do I know that there's flood coming? How do I know that I have a market for my tomatoes? And this is what I'm talking about. If Africa would embrace this basic information and use artificial intelligence in the best and simplest way, we can feed Africa first. That's what I say. Let us feed Africa first and then feed the rest of the world. Because we are known as Africa, we are known for food. Why don't we harness that power using artificial intelligence with information that we have right now? Tech Mindset is offering that right now online for free. Use that information. Leverage
Did you
on
just
what
say?
we are
Did you
good
just
at.
say that Tech Mindset is offering that for free online?
Yes, Tech Mindset is offering that for free online. Those details are going to be posted on the charts right now. We're offering that information. Use that information to know the basic way you can use artificial intelligence in agriculture, in the healthcare systems in Africa, in our roads. Look at the traffic right now, in our markets, in our businesses, at home. There's so many ways this can be harnessed.
This is
Yes,
just
it is.
amazing, John. I mean, let's just sample one. Sheila says, AI is a machine's way to optimize, learn, and automate. Oh my, wrapping my head around this is wow. Oh, okay. So she's looking at the definition of what machine learning is in relation to artificial intelligence. And I'm loving that, Sheila. Thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, what Joan has just taken us through are things that, how do I put it? If you are a farmer, if you're a farmer, you've got this information in your head, maybe in your books, in the stall where you're keeping your information, you keep your seeds, you keep your fertilizers, you keep your the whatever tools that you use. you've got it in your head, and mostly you look in the sky and you know the rains are coming this time, what the wind means, what the clouds mean. You look at the seeds, you know where to get a better yielding seed because of your experience. We are still in agriculture. You're looking at the soil and you know what kind of soil, what kind of fertilizer to put in. You've got this information in your head. You know that once you have tilled the land and you've planted the seed, how long it will take to sprout and then what to add. You've got this now. You are saying to me that with artificial intelligence, we can collect this data that this farmer has and use it for efficiency in ensuring the process happens efficiently and that we get a good crop. Is that what I'm understanding, Joan?
Yes, exactly. That's what we're saying, because we're saying while we are looking into other things, while we are treating patients, for example, while we are manufacturing, then our land is growing by itself because we created a model that is growing our plants as we do other things, as we focus our energies on human ability things. So that's what we're saying. Let's find ways, use this data and let the farm grow themselves, let them water themselves, let them get the actual nutrients that they require through artificial intelligence tools.
And this
Let
must
us
also
focus.
it must also limit the errors. It must limit a bad crop. It must limit, because it will have already estimated or predicted when the rainfall is coming, because rainfall in Africa has been known to come with certain seasons, but now because of global warming, it's kind of shifting. So I want to believe with artificial intelligence, would be able to take all this into consideration for a better crop.
Yes, the beauty about artificial intelligence, we don't have to worry anymore because immediately we get information from the artificial intelligence tools. We know there's a disease that comes, but artificial intelligence will tell us what we need to do in order to mitigate that risk. All right. So despite what is happening, we are able to get information on our hands every time we require this information. All right. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Well, I would really like to know what it would do for my business. And I believe that the
Let's
ladies
look at
who,
basic information. Sorry, Lucy, you're back.
I was sorry about that. I think I froze
No,
there.
no problem. Yes.
Sheila here says that this is such a generous and fabulous gesture from us all. Well, I guess when she's looking at what it is you're offering as a free training on artificial intelligence. So she's just acknowledging that from Sabrina. Thank you so much, Joanne. Just a question on behalf of our ladies before we move on to why women should play a part in this is
Yes.
exactly what does it do for my business as a woman?
Great question, Lucy. This is basically what it does. One, as a woman, we should understand that we are superior in cognitive abilities. I'm not saying this to disrespect any man in this forum. What I'm doing, I'm acknowledging our abilities the way you'd acknowledge the ability of, let's say, a washing machine or the ability of Africa to produce food. So what I'm saying, in artificial intelligence in regards to women, we have the cognitive ability superiority. What do I mean by that? We are more in touch with our feelings. So if we are to build machines that are responsible, if we are to build machines that consider how we work with a human being, what best way to do that other than to work with women who will give this information? We need women creating artificial intelligence models. We need women to work as part of this revolution called artificial intelligence. So how will it help business women? Simply, if we are women in businesses and we want to compete fairly in the world, in Africa, wherever we are, it is wise to implement artificial intelligence, because what this does, it automates processes, it makes your processes better, it reduces the chance of your customers. Your customers don't have to leave every time because lack of service. But once you have them through an artificial intelligence connection, then they get to stay on an everyday business. For example, e-commerce. We love selling things. If you're selling your makeup, if you're in fashion industry, etc. What if the person who logs in to buy from you, you'd know what they want before they want? What if you'd know the colors they prefer before they tell you? What if you would know how much they're willing to spend before they look into their wallet? And what better opportunities for women to get other than these opportunities offered by artificial intelligence?
I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. You know, my background, as I said, is hospitality. And in
Right.
hospitality, we have used the customer relationship management portal. And this tool is amazing because it predicts what the customer would want. So we're able to meet the expectation of the customer, you know, to a certain degree. And this already is artificial intelligence, I believe. And I could be wrong, but I do believe that these CRMs, as they are called, are becoming refined specifically because it all depends on who your customer is. And once they are fed with this information, we are able to just automatically deal with customers. I traveled to the UK a few years back, and this is me coming from Kenya, where we have the face-to-face, the personal touch, where when you're checking into a hotel, you're coming up with your IDs and you're checking in your name, and they go into the system, they find you, and they've already allocated the room. So I arrive on this floor. I mean, the lift just takes you straight, it's the shopping mall, and the lift takes you straight to the lobby of the hotel. And when I arrive there, I'm Kenyan Lucy. I am looking for a reception. That's what I'm looking for. But then I can see right in front of me is a restaurant. And I'm looking at the restaurant thinking, what, did I miss the reception? Am I on the wrong floor? And I see in front of me, there's some machines, you know, just like your ATM machines. And then I go closer to them out of curiosity because I'm waiting for a receptionist. And I realize there's check-in information there. Now, we are talking maybe 5-6 years ago now, 5-6 years ago, and I'm yet to see these booths here in Kenya. I'm yet to see them. The closest I have seen such a booth is at the airport when you're arriving and you want your boarding pass. But in this hotel, I was able to put in my passport. They picked out my booking. The machine picked out my booking, and I was given my room. And then the machine produced a key card and a map as to where I will find my room. And that was amazing. I mean, I went to my room thinking, whoa, how did that just happen? You know, how did that just happen? So what happens when I want a receptionist? You see, I'm still a Kenyan. I still want the personal touch. And I really wish ladies could share with us what they feel artificial intelligence will do for them, for the pros and the cons. For me, at that point, I did not know it was artificial intelligence. That's not the term that came to my head. I just thought of, whoa, this is development. But can you imagine if today, here in Africa, in Kenya, in Nairobi, where we are beaming from, that you would walk up to the Serenas or the Sarovas and you're checking in, and you're checking in on a booth. You know, I will leave that conversation for everybody to discuss, but bringing it again, still into tourism, the efficiency of getting a boarding pass at the airport.
Yeah.
The efficiency of going onto a portal and just buying my ticket, as opposed to picking up the phone and calling the airline. For me, in tourism, AI has already arrived. And somebody asked me my opinion the other day, and what is it that I would like to see in the schools for hospitality today? I would love to see a unit for artificial intelligence, because this is how we are going to sustain tourism moving forward. The youth are there, they're ready to take it in. So tourism for now already has artificial intelligence in the first world. And in Africa, we are ready for it because we travel a lot and we have seen this. Well, that is my take. And thank you so much for answering about what it is that women would benefit from in their businesses. However, in this evolution, it is suggested that, I'm not saying it is true, it is suggested that women are missing in this revolution. And there's something that you alluded to in the beginning. where you were talking about, was it equipping a woman and equipping a society? Could you just break that down for us as to why women should play a part in the artificial intelligence revolution?
Listen, Lucy, this is my favorite part. When
Yes.
you empower a woman, you
Yes.
empower a whole society. You empower an entire society. You empower a generation. You empower the next AI revolution. What do I
Mm,
mean by that?
mm,
As I had mentioned earlier, the opportunities you're talking about, that's
yes.
just the tip of the iceberg. There are immense opportunities in artificial intelligence. You don't have to be technical. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not technical. I didn't learn machine learning algorithms. I did not learn artificial intelligence science. No,
Okay.
I self-taught
Okay.
myself on how do you apply artificial intelligence in businesses. How do they make businesses better? How do they cut costs? What are the outcomes? What are the possibilities? How do they work when put in the health industry? How do they work in the tourism industry, etc., etc.? If I can learn that, and I'm a woman with a background in finance, who
Mm-hmm.
are you? All right. There are opportunities that are there. Another reason that we should have women on this radar, basically,
Yes.
is
Yeah.
because we need the power of women to empower the next generation. When we talk about artificial intelligence revolution and we do not empower the next generation, who is going to take after us?
True.
We're not going to have artificial intelligence revolution and let it die with us. So why would we have this discussion in the first place? And
Mm.
a woman is naturally inclined, again, I'm sorry to get based on this because these are facts, they're science facts, is naturally inclined to nurture. By
Yes.
nurturing, you have the obligation to bring up the next generation, right?
Mm.
That is your
Mm.
natural ability. So what we're
Yes.
doing, we're saying, why don't you take up this artificial intelligence, nurture it to the next generation, to your children, let them continue the revolution, let Africa be on the map, let
Yes.
Africa play a part in this, no matter how it trades with whom. We
Yeah.
want to be part of that revolution. And the best way to take this to the next generation, to the next part of artificial intelligence players is through women, is through mothers. Men
Yes.
also have a key role to play. That they're
Yes.
not going to be left behind. They've already taken this up. They're researching, they're working on it, they're working on the technical bit of it, but it needs a woman's touch. We need
Yes.
the emotional part of artificial intelligence to be able to work with a human being. That's basically the basic way I can describe why women need to be part of artificial intelligence.
So we need to empower ourselves. We need to know
We
about this
need to
AI
empower.
around us. We need to empower ourselves. I'm just loving that. If I could just sample another comment here from, oh, Sheila is on a roll. Sheila says, Joan Mbesya, you explain all this so well that I am quite rapidly becoming sold on the concept of using artificial intelligence. Prior to listening to you, I was on the fence. Now I am leaning towards the positive strides that artificial intelligence offers us. Thank you so much, Sheila. And I do hope that being on the fence for other women also who are in your same situation was about not knowing that they can jump into artificial intelligence without going to study it. I mean, Joan has explained it so well. Her background is finance. She's just now wanting to know how to apply artificial intelligence. So, what Sheila says, Joan, is so true that most of us are on the fence, but she's come down and she's
Yeah.
considering using it. And I just want to throw this out there, ladies. I keep on asking, how have you come into contact with artificial intelligence? And we were having this discussion earlier with Joanne, and you look at your dishwasher, you look at your machine, washing machine, you look at your Hoover that is hoovering your carpet and all this. You look at your smart TV. We've got artificial intelligence in our household. And Joan, I'm just going to jump right into the next generation. Now, during the times of COVID, we realized for those households that did not have the planning of giving their children chores around the house, though they didn't have it, they now had it. Each child had a chore. Now, if we were able to get these children, Joanne, to work on these household chores, with a mind of artificial intelligence. Yeah. Would this be a way that we can sensitize the next generation? What is your take, Joan?
Amazing question, Lucy. Actually, you reminded me we had to ground my kids to help around the house so that they can have a basic skill on how to wash clothes. You know, take
Yes.
that plate once you finish eating, take it to the kitchen, and they will do it rapidly. And
Yes.
Lucy, this is the reality of the generation that is coming. All right, they want things
Yes.
easier. They want things done in an easier way without having to put so much effort. But also, they want to focus on other things. So the
Mm.
question is, we as parents, we as guardians, what are we going to do to ensure that they play a part in this and not just watch it from the sidelines or hear from mommy's friends or daddy's friend or whichever friends that this and this is happening and their parents or their guardians are not enlightening them on what is happening. So what I would advise right now, and the best way this would work with our children, number one, you need to empower the guardians. If you're a mom with kids at home, whether you're staying at home, you have a business,
Yes.
learn basically about artificial intelligence. You don't have to get into it. Just learn how can I use it to change my household? How can I use it to empower my children? If not
Yes.
children, how can I use it to empower the next generation? For example, you might be a teacher. You have a group of students that you want to empower. How can I use it to empower these kinds of people? And at Tech Mindset Africa, we offer that kind of opportunity to learn how to nurture the next generation through artificial intelligence. What does this
Fantastic.
do for the children? We have
Mm.
turned these lessons into things that are fun. We are teaching artificial intelligence through gaming. We're teaching a child how to apply artificial intelligence through a game, something that they do every day when they're on holiday. What
Yes.
best do they do? Even when they're in school, when they come at home from
Yes.
school, they're
Yes.
on TV. But
Mm.
we already have a smart TV with applications. Instead of looking at a cartoon that you will try and think, is this useful to my child or not? Why don't you engage them in an hour of a game that is going to help them learn about artificial intelligence? Right?
Wow.
But other than that, what that particular process helps them to do, because at the end of it all, they're taught to come up with a solution
Mm.
within the household, within the environment. It could be how to clean dishes, it could be how to clean the house using a Hoover, putting artificial intelligence sensors, how to get things done without necessarily engaging physical work.
Yes.
They're challenged to do that as
Mm.
simple as through a game.
Wow.
If you get your generation, if you get your children, say, Mama, I can help you do the housework, I can help you do the dishes, I can help you do the clothes, I can help you do anything like this. Let me find a solution for you, and I can help you do that automatically, Mama, without you having to get tired again. I will do that, Mom, for you. We
Wow.
empower them to do that within the
You
household.
know,
So if a
you
child,
know, it's
Mhm,
interesting that you say that because there's one
right,
thing that has always been that Achilles heel in my life. And that
yes,
is I'm very organized in my household grocery shopping. And therefore, if I'm going to buy a kilo of carrots, I know how long that is going to last. But just like the
yes,
farmer that we used an example earlier on, all this information is in my head. You know, how much toilet paper are we going to use? How much washing soap are we going to use? How much cooking oil are we going to use? Now, if I had young children in my house today, then, and after this conversation we have just had, I would be sharing with them that data that is in my head and saying, guys, I
exactly.
want to have an efficient shopping process. And from what you've explained, my understanding would be that the outcome of having this
Yes,
conversation with this child is that they could come up with an algorithm or an app that would be able to predict you have bought a kilo of carrots with the kind of menu that we have over the week. The kilo of carrots will come to an end after so many days. So before the
yes,
days are up, this app, this algorithm, this system is going to give us a notification to our phones or somewhere and tell us
that,
we're out of carrots. We need carrots in the next 2 days. Reminding you in the next 12 hours, you need carrots, reminding you in the next 6 hours until you maybe disconnect that notification. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the science fairs that we have for children today need to be moving towards artificial intelligence. And
Exactly.
I love the fact you're talking about gaming. Go ahead, I interrupted.
So you see, what you're actually discussing, we're helping the children to create AI mirrors that read that information you're talking about, so that children will start asking relevant questions from their parents. They would ask, uh, how many days do you use carrots, mommy? Or how long does it take for a kg of onions to be used in this house? What they're doing, they're gathering that data because we're instilling that information to ask the right questions, to create models, so that we have a model that helps mommy to do these things automatically. Mommy or daddy don't have to put this information in their head any longer, right? So what we do, we want to engage the children on what they do every day. We don't want to bother them to into other kinds of studies. First, we're doing it through games. So play while you learn this. And then at the end of the day, you learn 1 or 2 lessons, and then can create a prototype, create a model. And we would have taught you how to do that already. Ask the people who you live with. So it's easy for them to get information to create those models. And then put it in theory. This is how I can help you, mommy, because we have a machine that can do what it is that you do and help you to remember better. Is this correct? So imagine creating that kind of culture at home.
Imagine, yes,
What will you
that's
feel
the culture we need to
when they
create. Joan,
yes,
exciting.
when they get to the job market, when they get to start businesses, it will be a natural part of them. Leave alone what we're doing right now, we're learning. We have to go through courses, we have to go through so many things. But the fact that this next generation, it will be ingrained in them automatically. It will be easy for them to make it even better and even come up with things that are better than artificial intelligence. You never know. The next revolution might come from Africa. And that's what we're saying. Let's empower the next generation. Let's involve them. Let's find ways. And the only way to do that is for you to learn first as a guidance. How do I guide my children? After you learn that, then bring your children on. Let them learn. Let them put it into practice. Let them develop the culture of creating artificial intelligence models. Let them go out there and change the world.
Wow, already that thought process that we are building in our children, it's so exciting. I wish now I had younger children. I've got Nancy here who has commented. First encounter was through our children watching the AI series, The Flash, the artificial series, The Flash, etc. Our son got the ICDL training and examined and certified from the coast. This was all artificial intelligence. And now I know, look, we have just empowered a mother there. She has been dealing with artificial intelligence, but she didn't know. Just the way when I was watching my sci-fi movies, I didn't know I was already being made aware of artificial intelligence. Thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing that. Bengo Jr. says, there's this myth that AI would replace human labor. Kindly elaborate on this. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, please. Please, Joanne, kindly elaborate on that.
Thank you. I was waiting for that question. I was wondering why, how come no one is talking about it? See, the beauty is artificial intelligence can do so many things other than bad things, but we are not ignorant of the fact that it can destroy. That is true. However, I always encourage our students and people that I interact with, let us focus on the best way that artificial intelligence can help us. However, in regards to working, I'll tell you something. I mean, before we had oxes on farms, right? We used to farm manually. Somehow we used to survive and feed ourselves. The ox was replaced by tractors, right? The farmers didn't lose jobs. They just did their work better, isn't it? It's the same thing. We had machines introduced into manufacturing processes. Before that, things were being created by hand, clay, pots, plates, etc. There were no machines. Now there are machines to automate the processes. But now AI will come and optimize that and make sure it's even faster. So what we're saying, we're not saying that artificial intelligence is not going to take jobs. Possibly it will. It will replace the jobs that can be done by humans. It should just be done better by the machines. But the question is, what are you doing about it? Because what we know, artificial intelligence today does not have the empathy that you have. Artificial intelligence today cannot make a presentation about any idea or a revolution like the way I'm doing. Like the two of us, what it will do, it will mechanically explain facts, but it will not touch on the heart of a person or the mind of a human being because it does not understand. It is not human. We are creatures of God. All right. So what I'm saying is, yes, it will replace, but we must find ways, all right, to work better with them. And again, I'll reiterate on the fact that we need women to work alongside because then we need machines to understand how to interact with human beings and what better way to have women now. So as much as we're going to have replacements of our jobs, yes, it is just a revolution. There will be even something that will replace artificial intelligence. The question is, what are you doing right now to work around artificial intelligence?
It all brings us to personal development because the opportunities are there. It is your positive mindset, your growth mindset, your mindset of abundance that is going to let you see this new opportunity and what you're going to do about it. You've answered that question so well. Bengo, thank you so much for your question. Sheila here says, brilliant discussion. Please go ahead.
Sorry, listen, I was asking, ask Bengo to join our online classes. The links are there, it's free. You would know how to best work with artificial intelligence beside you in the next 2 or 5 years. It's as simple as that.
I mean, guys, you've been offered a free training there by Joan Mbesya. Bengo, please jump right in and join that. Thank you so much for that generous offer, Joan. Sheila says, brilliant discussion. We definitely need to meet our children at their technological growth paths. Yes, indeed. Oh, I want to be a young mother now because I think I'll have so much fun just opening up my mind. Sabrina says, as mothers, you are at the forefront of your children's knowledge. As Tech Mindset Africa Limited, we would like to help you. Oh, brilliant. I mean, your team is just throwing things at us. So please click on this link to help us gather data on how we can better educate your children on AI through this different form. Please go ahead, guys, and click on that. Make use of that. We've got Jackie. Jackie Mangi says, one of my favorite examples of how AI is used is at Amazon Go. Oh yes, as we were watching it in the video, that video of ours that we watched in the beginning, where they don't have cashiers in the supermarket. So you walk in, and when you pick something from the shelf, AI adds it to your Amazon Prime account, and you just walk out. What are the areas of priorities for AI development in the market? In fact, Jackie, you just missed it. Joan was talking about this in the beginning of this particular session, and we were talking about this becoming a disruption in Africa and us bringing it, and we could be the first guys. And then we moved from there and went into agriculture. So I'm very sure when you watch the replay, unfortunately, we are running out of time. We really have just 1 minute to go, and I would love John to give us our takeaways. The replay of this version, Jackie, is just going to take you through what our discussions were, and basically us talking about why women should play a part in the artificial revolution and why Africa should be the place where this disruption is happening. Justus, thank you for joining us. Bengo says, Roger that, doing that as SAP. Thank you so much, Bengo, for joining that. Joanne, we've come to the end of our hour, and I never leave my audience without takeaways. If you could just give us 3 takeaways that would just tell us what is it we can walk away with.
The 3 very simple takeaways, Lucy, I would say in this conversation, even if you've just joined us. One thing is business leaders, business professionals, anyone who is employed outside there, please be aware of artificial intelligence around you. Take a chance on yourself to learn even the basics of artificial intelligence. And the second takeaway is, let us empower women. Empower a woman to empower the society. When you empower a woman, you empower the next generation, which brings me to my third takeaway. Motivate the next generation. Play your part. You don't want your children coming 2 years, 3 years down the line and say, Mom, you've just taken me back. You didn't tell me about something that was so obvious in your generation. Play a part in this, motivate the next generation, enroll them in the program, enroll yourself in our programs. We have links on the chat. Please join us. We'll offer you free training on online artificial intelligence, and you will learn. We'll give you a start point. Where do you want to go with this? And that is what we are offering right now. If you want to get in touch with us, our team also is going to share our contacts, our email, our phone numbers. To do that, please reach out to us if you have any further questions that you might not have understood from these particular takeaways. So thank you, Lucy. Thank you for that opportunity. I was really happy to explain this to the world.
Thank you. Thank you. It is International Women's Day next week. And I want to be able to celebrate the different, the milestones that we have made as women. And we cannot just celebrate without looking into the future generation. So that is going to be my voice. I'm going to be talking about artificial intelligence for sure, Joan. And if I have any clarification, I am going to be asking you. Kindly post in the chat your connections, whether it's phone, it's WhatsApp, it's Twitter, so that my audience can get in touch with you. Gatundu says that was a very educative session. Thank you, Joan. You're most welcome, Gatundu. We enjoyed having you. So there you have it. The world is changing at an incredible rate. It's not a matter of if, it's the when, it's the how, it's the here, and it's the now. Yeah. Are you ready for the disruption? What will you do differently today to adapt to these changes? And Joan has already told us what we can do differently today. Be aware of AI around you. Empower yourself so that you can empower the future generation, so that we can sustain Africa during this disruption. Let us be the first guys to blow this agriculture out of the water, because that's who we are known for. So as we continue with Tech and Life, next week, we will look at managing our technology tools, managing them. You know, managing this virtual space by phone, managing my WhatsApp, we can get very lost in that, much as it is a very relevant thing in our lives to have these tools. And I'll have a guest with us next week, and she'll be taking us through that. So I do wish that you can join us next week. Remember to like our page and receive regular updates of these scheduled talks. Once again, I want to say thank you so much to you, Joan, for coming on and sharing with us. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Thank you. And for everybody else, let us continue to help building one another, share your stories. And until next Tuesday, talks at 3, please be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.